it's me again, Miss Peggy. I'm going to read another one of the Encyclopedia Brown mysteries. This time I've got it from the first book in the series, which is called Encyclopedia Brown, Everyone's Favorite Boy Detective, or Encyclopedia Brown Boy Detective. These are all by Donald J. Sobel, and I'm reading the chapter called The Case of the Civil War Sword. Civil War Sword. Goodness. Ugh. A boy with red hair stopped in the doorway of the Brown Detective Agency. Are you any good at swords, he asked. Encyclopedia did not lift his eyes from his book, How to Build a Nuclear Reactor. What kind of game is swords, he asked. It isn't a game, said the red-haired boy. My name is Peter Clinton. I want to hire you. Peter put 2 dimes and a nickel on the gasoline can beside Encyclopedia. The coins clinked. Encyclopedia stopped reading. He looked up, very businesslike. How can I help you, he asked. I have a chance to trade my bicycle for a sword, said Peter. I want to make sure that the sword is real. You don't think the sword is really a sword? Said Encyclopedia. What do you think it is? No, that isn't what I mean, Peter said. It's a sword from the Civil War. There are thousands of swords left over from the Civil War, said Encyclopedia. I know, said Peter, but how many belong to General Jackson? Stonewall Jackson? Gasped Encyclopedia. You mean the great Southern general? This sword is supposed to have belonged to Stonewall Jackson, said Peter. Bugs Meany says so. Bugs? Encyclopedia straightened up at the name. You want me to make sure the sword really did belong to Stonewall Jackson? Yes, said Peter. Then you'll take the case? I'll take it, said Encyclopedia, because if Bugs is behind that trade, you're going to need help. Peter led the private detective to the Tigers Clubhouse, an unused tool shed behind Mr. Sweeney's auto body shop. The tigers were busy racing garter snakes. Now here's the picture. It says, the sword is worth 10 bikes like mine. That's what he says. That's the picture. All right. Bugs made a face when he saw Encyclopedia. Oh, so Mr. Brains is now a Civil War know-it-all, said the Tigers' leader. Well, maybe you can tell me what Stonewall Jackson did at the Battle of Bull Run. Which Battle of Bull Run? Asked Encyclopedia. There were 2. One was in 1861 and the other in 1862. Good for you, said Bugs, grinning. Now, don't say that this sword isn't the real thing. Encyclopedia walked to the table on which the sword lay. Bugs said, this sword was given to Stonewall Jackson a month after the first Battle of Bull Run. If that's true, Peter whispered to Encyclopedia, this sword will be worth 10 bikes like mine. No, 20, corrected Encyclopedia. Read what it says on the blade, said Bugs. Encyclopedia read the inscription. To Thomas J. Jackson for standing like a stone wall at the first Battle of Bull Run on July 21st, 1861. This sword is presented to him by his men on August 21st, 1861. The sword certainly has seen a lot of use, said Encyclopedia. What, did you expect it to look new and shiny? Sneered Bugs. It's more than 100 years old. It doesn't look like it ever was worth $5, Encyclopedia said. Never mind how it looks, said Peter. Do you think it belonged to General Jackson? Before Encyclopedia could answer, Bugs spoke up. I sure hate to part with this sword, he said. But you know, Peter wants it so much, I just had to say that I'd trade it for his bike. Trade? You won't trade with Peter, said Encyclopedia. This sword never belonged to General Stonewall Jackson. How did Encyclopedia know that? Now, I will come back on in a different video and give the answer in a few days. And so I want you to decide why you think it wasn't an actual Civil War sword, like Encyclopedia said it wasn't. I would like for you to either type the answer here or think about it in your head, and we'll come back and have the answer in a few days. So anyway, I hope you're enjoying your time off when you're staying at home, and I hope you're reading a lot, and I hope you're using your reading comprehension skills to, apply to the things that you read. So have a good time.